Today we're watching closely about the bombing situation that happened in Bangkok 2 days ago. And now let's reflect on the voices of the authorities and a lot of police authorities that have been saying that the situation is being monitored. The Thai authorities have tightened security around the country's airports, bus terminals and railway stations in the wake of Tuesday's bomb attack and incidents in Bangkok. The Commerce Ministry has also ordered commercial councillors in key overseas markets to clarify the untoward situation to foreign buyers and investors. At this stage, police said the incidents in which no one was killed were part of the conflicts between foreign individuals and targets in Thailand, as they were not aimed to hurt the masses and cause widespread damage. Somchai Sawadipon, the acting director of Suvarnabhumi International Airport, said the number of police and other security personnel inside the country's biggest airport was increased by 30% following the bomb incident. Wuttichat Kalayanamit, the president of Transport Co., operator of the interprovincial bus service, said extra security measures have been taken around all bus terminals in the country, with all security cameras being checked to ensure they are operational around the clock. On the other hand, Yuttana Thapcharan, governor of State Railway of Thailand, said security is now tight at all major train stations, including Bangkok's Hua Lamphong station, with a deployment of additional personnel. Bunsong Teriyapirom, the Commerce Minister, said commercial councillors at all major foreign stations have also helped clarify the situation in Bangkok following the bomb incidents so as to prevent panic among foreign buyers and investors. On the other side, Thanawat Ponvichai, the University of Thai Chamber of Commerce, said the incidents, however, have caused a psychological effect and impact on the country's tourism industry, as there are now some trip cancellations or postponement. The first quarter GDP could slow to 1.8% growth instead of the earlier forecast of 2%, he said, adding that if there are repeats in the incidents, the impacts will be worse. The Board of Trade is also closely monitoring the situation and urged the government to take extra measures to prevent more impacts on international trade and foreign investments in Thailand, especially with regard to upcoming overseas orders for Thai products.
And now we're moving on to the flood prevention projects, as Thai Science Minister Ploddee Surasawadi said the government will find 2 million right of land for water retention purposes in the central region by tomorrow. He said yesterday that we will complete this job before we return to Bangkok, as he accompanied Prime Minister Yingluck Shinawatra on a tour of many provinces, which wraps up tomorrow. It aims to organize the government to better manage water flow and water volume in the country this year. Ploddee said the government has already earmarked 470,000 right of land for water retention, which is part of the government's efforts to prevent a flood crisis like last year. The government now plans to spend 49 billion baht on 2,516 flood prevention projects. Of the total projects, 581 require urgent implementation. Prime Minister's Office Minister Warawat Pinyakul said up to 55 projects will likely be implemented in the next 3 months with a budget of 1.82 billion baht. Iloburi Bangar municipal clerk said the premier was scheduled to visit the province today, and more than 30 local leaders would submit their demands. He said people should have a say in the panel that manages water volume in the Japriya River. People's representatives as well as local administrative bodies should be allowed to sit on the panel. He added that some areas such as Tawung Field should not be used for water retention because many people live there, and judging by the landscape, it would be difficult to control water flow and to drain the water. Meanwhile, Democrat Party leader Apisit Wechashiwa said in an interview with the Blue Sky channel that Yingluck should not be selective in planning flood prevention for the country. Apisit also said she has not included Tak and Sukhothai in her tour. He has noticed that there are no Pheu Thai MP in these provinces, yet Sukhothai was one of the hard-hit provinces in the 2011 flood crisis.
As our Prime Minister Kun Yingluck Shinawatra is out in the field to check on the water management plant, we also have our reporter Kun Nattakorn Ploddee to be in the field following the Prime Minister, and he's on the line with us today. Sawasdi krab, Kun Nattakorn.
Good afternoon, Kun Nattakorn.
Good afternoon, Kun Onrawi and Kun Onganan. Well, today I'm in Ayutthaya, and it's a much anticipated speech by the Prime Minister today because this announcement is awaited enthusiastically by the media, as it will address a largely unattended issue of protecting the industrial estate, particularly the Ayutthaya province, where last year was hit much more severely by the flood than Bangkok. However, everybody's still waiting for her to come out. As I've been talking to other reporters as well, her mission this whole week, gathering information, investigating on plan and objective to tackle this flood. However, they've been saying that she's been delaying these speeches, postponing it to the next day, and it looks like today also that she will not be giving a public speech to the media.
Yes, Kun Nattakorn, have you been affirmed by the local authorities there? When will the Prime Minister come out and give some updates to the media?
Well, according to the papers that have been given, she's got to address the media every day. However, she's been playing it safe. She's been postponing it and saying that she will gather all the information required first before she makes a public statement. And to me and to other reporters that I've been talking to, it's been like a wild goose chase. So you never know whether she's going to come out and speak or not, because she's been promising the next day. However, there's one thing's for sure, that she's got to speak tomorrow, because that's the last day of her mission. Okay, so that's the inevitable part of her updates to us.
Right.
Yeah.
And Kun Nattakorn, as the schedule is delayed, what are the agenda for today then?
Well, today after she's been talking to the Bang Sai industrial estate people about their plan and their objectives to protect this industrial estate, she'll be moving to Bang Pai industrial estate as well as the water gate in Ayutthaya, which is damaged from last year's flood and will be repaired. That's actually an order that I heard from the Prime Minister, that she said that it needs to be repaired as soon as possible. So that's all I know for today. And tomorrow is the last day that she can give this speech of her mission to investigate and gather information to protect the flood. Well, on another note, there's this place, Ayutthaya. There's still some evidence of flood from last year. I've been seeing dead grass and dead trees as well. So it's definitely, this place has been visited by the natural disaster of the flood last year.
Okay, well, thank you very much, Kun Nattakorn, for your update. We'll check with you again if there's more updates from the Prime Minister then.
Yes, goodbye to you too.
Thank you very much.
Bye. All right, and now we're moving on to Thailand's parliament is scheduled to discuss the ruling Pheu Thai party's motion on constitution amendment on February the 23rd. Article 291 of the Constitution will be the first amended to pave the way for the setup of a new charter drafting assembly, which will carry out the Constitution amendment process. Besides the Pheu Thai party's version, coalition parties of the Yingluck government, including Chhat Pathana Party, have also submitted a separate motion on charter amendment. President of Parliament Somsak Yesuranon said the separate motion will be included for consideration by Parliament if it meets the legal requirement. Meanwhile, the Constitution Court said it will make a ruling on the legality of the two emergency decrees issued by the government on February the 22nd. Opposition Democrat Party and senators have told the court that there are not enough reasons for the government to bypass the parliamentary process in issuing the new law that would transfer the huge 1.14 trillion baht public debt from the Finance Ministry to the Bank of Thailand. Opponents also asked the court to consider the legality of another emergency law to issue 350 billion baht bonds.